Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, the good, the noble, the sometimes like sitting in front of a computer and talking to people over YouTube, Dr. Yukon Suckit. That's it. Everybody, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Yukon Suckit. All right, so I am broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters. I'm bringing to you a deck that I found. I'm not exactly sure where I found it. Anyways, it's not fully that deck. So the deal is, I think I was looking around and I found this deck, and it was mono red, and it had a little bit of white in it, but absolutely no white lands. So the deal was that it produces a lot of treasure tokens, in which point you can play with whatever cover you want. So it didn't really matter. But when I played that deck, I found that I was very disappointed by the lack of control. So I ended up throwing some additional white mana in it, and I added some additional white cards, adjusted it, and some additional red control to it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through this deck. I'll talk about what each card does, and then we'll go and see how well the deck does. All right, so on the low end, we've got the Goldhound. Goldhound! It's a 1/1 for 1. It's got First Strike and Menace. And then other than that, it's pretty much a treasure token. You could sacrifice it to add 1 mana of any color. So I kind of wish it had haste. I mean, it just seems like this should be hasty. It would be nice if you could pay 1, throw it out. I mean, I guess, and then sacrifice it. But, you know, the problem with that is you're paying 1 to get it out anyway. I guess it allows you to transfer that 1 red mana into mana of any color at that point. But it doesn't have it. It doesn't have it. It's just got First Strike and Menace. And Menace is kind of nice, other than the fact that, you know, you're 1/1, so what are you really doing, right? I guess you could throw things on it, which is a good thing, but ultimately you just sacrifice it. We got Light Up the Night. Okay, so let me point this out. This deck does like 3 things. I mean, I guess 4, but the things it does is it generates treasure tokens, and it generates treasure tokens so that you can pump tremendous amounts of mana into things like Light Up the Night and Crackle with power. So Light Up the Night does, it's 1 red mana, and it does X amount of damage, and you can deal it to any target. So that means players, right? But if you're going to deal it to creatures or planeswalkers, then it's going to be 1 more additional damage to them. So you can do a little bit more if you need to. Now, if you're going to, you can flashback it, but it costs you 4, and the only amount of damage it does is by removing loyalty counters off of planeswalkers. Yeah, so you can't pump additional damage into it. It's just planeswalker damage. It's not nearly as much as you could potentially do. Anyways, this card is supposed to be for using your treasure tokens that you've been building up through the game, so you could do a final pow, right? So you're just doing like ping, 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 little bits of damage from Goldhound and other things, and then at the end, finally, 7, you know, something like that. All right, over here we got Fateful Absence, because, you know, it's like, sure, you got red, I could do a certain amount of damage, but this will destroy a target creature or planeswalker. And it's, you know, it's controller investigates, which means they get a clue token and they pay 2 and sacrifice this artifact, draw another card. But whatever, man. At least you get to destroy a target creature or planeswalker. And in Fierce Retribution, it's 2 mana and you destroy target attacking creature. So they don't get anything out of it. It's just gone, right? So this is a lot like Wandering Emperor, you know, with that ability, but you know, you have to wait till they're attacking, and then it's 2 mana and gone. You can destroy any creature if you're willing to pay 6. So whatever, if you got this late game, you can do it, right? Now this is destroy, it's not exile. Same with this one. So there's a lot of graveyard recursion right now. We got Magda, the Brazen Outlaw. You know, she's a 2/1 for 2. And other dwarves, which we don't have any, so it's just her. Not even her. So you get +1/+0. So that's nothing. But when a dwarf, including herself, becomes tapped, you create a treasure token. So basically, by attacking, she creates a treasure token. So we got a treasure token there. She'll create one. You can sacrifice 5 treasures if you got it to search your library for an artifact or dragon. That's pretty much Goldspan Dragon. And then put that into battlefield and shovel. And so the great thing about Goldspan Dragon is got haste. So, pow, 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 right? Anyways, that's Magda. You're gonna have, she's legendary, so you can only have one at a time. We got Crackle with power. So this is much like Light Up the Night, except for it's got a multiplier effect to it. Now, it's not that great because if you pay, let's say, because it's 3 times X, meaning you have to pay your X amount in multiples of 3. So to be able to do it for the first level, you got to pay at least 5 mana. And Crackle Pal deals 5 times X damage to each of up to X targets. Really, you're going after the player with this. So it's just one target. That means that it's going 5 times 1 because those 3 extra X only counts as 1. And so therefore you're doing 5 points of damage for 5 mana. Now that's not bad. And so the deal is you got 8 mana, right? Because you need 6 for the X and then the additional 2. Then you're going to deal 10 points of damage for 8 mana. So you got that multiplier effect there. Now the next thing would be, what, 9 and 2, 11? 11 damage, and you're going to deal 15 points of damage. So it's a bit more than what you're actually paying into it. So it's pretty good. But it's an ability. I mean, it's what you're looking for. That's what this deck's trying to do. You're generating treasure tokens so you can pop down 11 or something like that, right? We got Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So, usually you're playing this card so you can get the Kiki Jiki. But in reality, in this one, you're trying to get that 2/2 red goblin shaman that whenever it attacks, it creates a treasure token. When you create that treasure. Treasure. That's what you're doing. You're like Smog the dragon, just trying to get your dragon, your treasure hoard, right? So in the middle part of the saga, you may discard up to 2 cards, and if you do, you may draw that many cards. So you got a little bit of card, your hand fixing right there. Lastly, you get Kiki Jiki, and that thing allows you to create a copy of a target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. So essentially, if you're in the need of doing damage, you can, copy a Goldspan Dragon. Otherwise, you use it to, pick whatever you got that's going to create more treasure for you, which is, your ultimate goal. We got the Professional Facebreaker. She's got Menace. She's a 2/3 for 3. It's all right. I mean, she's got a little bit of a big butt, so she could do a little bit of defensive work for you. But whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token. Now, the big problem with that, it's whenever one or more creatures, or more. So it's only dealing like one treasure. One or more creatures. Yeah, I think so. Sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library. You may play this card as turn. So, if you're desperate, right? Anyways, this one creates treasure. This one creates treasure. This one treasure. This one is treasure. We got Chandra, Dressed to Kill. Out on the town. She's a 3 loyalty for 3. So this is one of those cheap planeswalkers. +1, you get an additional red mana, and she deals 1 damage to a target player or planeswalker, right? And then also she's got +1 to exile top card of your library. If it's red, you may cast it this turn. So if you got nothing in your hand going on, you can do this to get an additional card, but it's going away if you can't cast it. -7, exile the top card of your library. You may cast red spells amongst on this turn. You get an emblem that says whenever you cast a red spell, this emblem deals X damage to any target, where X is the amount of damage to cast that spell. So yeah, if you can get this thing up to -7, I mean, do it. And then anything you do after that is going to cause damage to any target you feel like. So it's a good climber, but usually people don't let her leave too long. She's mostly like a target that sucks up damage away from you. We got Burn Down the House. This is one of my additions to this deck because we desperately needed control. We've got so this thing does 5, and it does 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. So suck at everything. It doesn't do anything to the player though. The other option you have, and I'm surprised at how often this is really one of the better options to use, is create 3 1/1 red devil tokens. And the devils have, when it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. And they have haste. until the end of the turn, because that's all that really matters, right? But yeah, those guys are fantastic. The deal is that you just, if you get out 3 devil tokens, then they're there, and they're hasty little crazy guys. You attack with them, you deal 3 points of damage. If they decide to wipe the board or they start killing them, whatever, guess what? They're doing another 3 points of damage. That's like 6 points of damage. I bet you could probably ram these things through a few times. They'll probably die one at a time going along the way, but you might end up getting, 9 points of damage out of that stuff. And they're good blockers. They give you your time as well as then doing additional damage back to something or other. I mean, they could be a force to be reckoned with. It's better than what the 5 damage could do. So it's great that you have 2 options with a card like this. You just got to make sure you have 5 mana. So hopefully with all the other treasure will be generating, the 5 mana is not going to be that hard to get to. All right, here's the real hero. This is the 3rd thing you're doing with this deck. You're putting out Goldspan Dragon, because Goldspan Dragon is the absolute unit. That's the deal. Look at that little fat jerk there. So the deal is he's a 4/4 flying hasty creature. And 4/4 doesn't seem that great, right? Angels will get in fights with it, they'll kill it, whatever. But still, when it's haste and it's flying, that means you just get this thing out, and most likely they can't block it, and it just gets out and they can't do anything about it. They're taking that 4 points of damage. And whenever it attacks or becomes the target of a spell, you get a treasure token. So, you get a treasure token when it comes out. I'm trying to think what else you're going to do with this thing. You're not going to do anything to it, but other people try to do things that you get a treasure token. And treasure tokens control basically produce 2 mana of any one color, which means you're doubling up on the amount of power your treasures can do. Now, the good thing is if you can keep Goldspan Dragon out, and you got a bunch of treasure tokens, and you have Crackle power or Light Up the Night, you'll be able to do twice the amount of damage with those cards and get up into those ungodly levels with Crackle power and stuff like that. So your Goldspan Dragon is really that power engine that makes everything great. So it's just, building up all the treasure tokens, doing whatever little bits of damage you can. Goldspan Dragon, if things are getting desperate, you're burning down the house or killing things with Fateful Absence and Fierce Retribution, hopefully you'll be able to have enough of that mana just kind of piled up in the treasure tokens. You got yourself a Light Up the Night or a Crackle power, and then Dragon's still out, and you just boom, boom, goes the room, there goes the player, they're dead. So in the land category here, we've got 8 plains and 12 mountains. That's 20, right? And the extra 4 getting you up to 24 is Den of the Bugbear. So you got those man lands. So in case you've just burned down the house, you got something in the back ready to go to do the 3/2 and putting out the 1/1 red goblin token that's tapped and attacking. So essentially it's a little hasty goblin. And those things build up, so it's good. You got nothing in the sideboard. This is BOROS Treasure. Let's take it out and see how well it does. All right, we're playing against InResponse. We got 3 mana. Got some cards. Let's see what we can do. One. Okay, technically I got 2 mana out right now. Gotta get up to 3. Here's a white. All attack. Alright, so I have the ability to take out anybody with the Fateful Absence. Not sure I'm going to care about somebody that only has 2 mana's capacity, though. No, sorry. Crackle with power. Okay, here we go. Let's go get ourselves some treasure. Apparently we're not getting treasure off of that guy. Looks like InResponse here is going to play in response to whatever it is I choose to do. All right, so we've got 5 mana, which will get us a Goldspan Dragon. It tells me it won't last long on the table, though. What do we got up here? See if I can land this one again. I'm trying to bait out those creature kills. If I can't, yeah, see, that's it. Goldspan would have just totally ate it. All right, a little bit of something sound-wise there. Okay, let's get dangerous. This guy, man, what is up with him? All right, let's see if we can do it again. Got ourselves a Magda. That's all I've been waiting for. All right, there's mana number 5. I'm going to go ahead and dress to kill. We are going to grab ourselves a mana for no particular reason. The world's largest 1-point fireball. All right, we got 7 there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will get us 5 points of damage. All right, we'll kill him next turn. Whatever, man. Here I come. Walking down the street. And we take InResponse. Victory! And we're playing against DrunkenConqueror. I appreciate words I can pronounce. 1, 2. Yeah, let's hope for the best here. Gotta pick up at least... God, there's no white in there either. That was probably a bad hand. I should have mulliganed. Come on, white mana, white mana, white mana. Nah, that is not it. Is he suffering on the same problem I am? Apparently so. All right, here we go. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So I got a path forward to getting the Goldspan Dragon out. I'll decline. All right, so there's 4. Here's number 5. You think he's playing the zombie one that actually has control, or is it just the zombie one that does nothing but put out zombies? I'm hoping it's the latter. All right, here we go. Auto pay. All attack. All right, we're looking good. Got lots of mana. Burn down the house is our plan B. Should probably hold on to the dragon rather than trying to play it immediately. I haven't seen him have any sort of creature control, so maybe I'm just being paranoid. And there we go, creature control. Looks like we're all going to Crazy Town. All right, another Goldspan Dragon. And for the attack. Got him down to 4. And let's just leave it at this. So I'm thinking that burn down the house with the 3 little devils will totally finish it off. If I could just get... Really, Den of the Bugbear will do it too. Looks like he's desperate for something. He's got a blocker, but yeah, he can't take care of the 4 flyer. He's trying. He's got a handful of cards. I'm going to touch the Precious. Whatever, here we go. Precious. I touched it. Good game. All right, party on, DrunkenConqueror. Victory! We're playing against Leo 730. And we got 2. This is kind of 3 mana. These guys will get us something. Let's keep it. All right. Goldhound. New my token. Magda. Attack with menace. Ooh, I got sound again. Okay. Yeah, and the sound's gone. Whip out another one. They're just burning a hole in my hand anyway. What am I doing here? She's not going to do any good. We're just going to put out a Fable. And there we go. 2/2 Shaman. Just like the doctor ordered. See you later, burn down the house. It was nice knowing you. Not sure I can get you with 2 mana and no treasure. Oh, we went for this Planeswalker. Okay, what are we getting rid of here? Oh, let's see if we can find something a little bit better than that. That is a little bit better. Got to get ourselves a treasure. I'll take out a attacking creature. Excellent. Looks like I know who I have to kill. Man, I'd really like to get that Magda back, though. Oh, but it'll come back as a token. And a 2/2 at that, so whatever. Whatevs. Auto pay! All right, excellent. Here comes our Kiki Jiki. Here's number 4. And send in the Treasure Maker. I really can't do anything about that. We'll just take the damage down to 14. All right, here we go. Should we just go for it in a weird and obscene way? Like this? Haste! All attack. Bunch of treasure. Down to 7. Okay, so now I got is 2, 3, 4, 7. So I can do 6 points of damage. That's a lot. 1, 2, 3. He's dead. He doesn't know it, though. Should I really dork around or should I just kill him? I'm just going to kill him. 5. Doink. Good game. Hugs and kisses. Winner, winner, victory dinner. All right, so here is Boros Treasure. And I got to say, this turned out a lot better than I had feared it might be. Because, yeah, originally this was a premium mythic deck. And it was all about generating treasure. Lots and lots of treasure. So that pretty much you could just get out a Goldspan Dragon, and I guess that was generating treasure too. At which point you could do Crackle with power and light up the night. And so these were the two that allowed you to just totally go to town on somebody, and then they'd be dead. And that, I guess, was the end of it. Problem was is that when I played it, having like 0 control in there other than a few Fateful Absences, it sucked. It was like you only got one of those out. You can only keep one person's creature down. And this deck is not really a powerhouse. So anybody with a little bit of control was able to pin down all of your Goldspan Dragons. You couldn't really do enough damage, wasn't getting any treasures because all your dudes would die, and that would be the end of it. So this deck still tries to get the treasure going. It tries really hard. But in case that's not really working out, we have packed it with a lot more Fateful Absences. We got the Fierce Retribution in there for destroy target attacking creature. And if we happen to have 6 mana, we can just destroy target creature. And luckily, this will take out a Planeswalker as well. And then lastly, we got Burn Down the House. That was the addition. It wasn't in the red deck originally, but I added 3 of those because it sorely needed it. The big problem was that somebody would be putting out a bunch of guys, and I needed to clear the board. And I just kept thinking, man, it's like either I need to clear the board or a bunch of little devils running around would sure be really nice right now. And I got to say, I think this was the best addition to this deck was Burn Down the House. 5 mana is not that hard to get to, especially when you're in a treasure heavy deck like this one. And this gives you a little bit of time to breathe or a little bit more gas for the aggro. I mean, it's so hard for them to... The problem with this is the thing about devils, is that you put out 3 of them, and they have haste. They're coming in. They're going to do 3 points of damage. And if you kill them, they're still going to do their damage. And so if they do their damage and then you kill them, that means they're doing like twice the amount of damage. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 is like a third of your life. So it's a good aggressive chunk of damage that Burn Down the House will do to you or to your opponent. if you put down those creatures. So a lot of times they're a lot more useful than just clearing the board with 5 damage to each creature and Planeswalker. Professional Facebreaker, I gotta say, I really like her ability, which is whenever one or more creatures controls damage, you create a treasure token. Great, you're creating a treasure token as somebody else attacks. So it's kind of got a hasty sort of effect to it. The only thing I don't like is she just is kind of expensive for what's going on. I kind of wish she was like 2, and maybe if she was just a 1/1 or something, I could dig it a lot more. But that wasn't it. And Chandra, you know, the deal is everybody loves this Chandra card, Dress to Kill, and I personally hate it. So I usually just throw it away. In fact, I mean, I know it gets you that 1 additional damage and 1 additional mana, which you can then pump into your Light Up the Night or your Cackle for power. Or maybe it's that thing that gets you from 4 to 5 so you can do Goldspan Dragon. But she's also such a target. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. You know, she's in here. She still is. Yeah, so let's rate the deck then. Is this deck competitive? Well, let me take a look at my ratings here for this particular deck. I got 67% on it, but that was including. Nope, that's after this particular makeup, 67%. So it's fairly competitive, right? I'm not going to say that it's like going to super win all the time. It doesn't seem to have that kind of flow to it. But it does have a nice feel. One thing that's nice is just the way you got a lot of, you know, creatures doing damage, getting people down. You're generating some token, you know, some treasures, and then people think if they could just control your creatures, they're going to be okay. But as long as you're just focusing on getting the mana and getting those treasures out, one of these Light Up the Nights or Crackle with power is going to be the kill stroke, and they don't recognize it. So it's kind of sneaky. It's kind of a trick. I like it. I like it a lot. So is it competitive? I'm just going to say yes. I'm going to say, is this deck fun? It's got a certain intensity to it that I appreciate. I'm going to say yes, it's fun. And the question is there a theme? I mean, it's a treasure theme, but I don't know, they're not like pirates or anything like that. Let's see, is there some sort of theme here? I'm just looking at the creatures. Nope, not in particular. No theme. So between those categories of it being more or less competitive, pretty fun, but not very themey, I'm going to have to give it a solid A as far as decks are going to be. You know, as long as it's competitive, it's going to get in the A range. And being that it's fun, but just not themey, we're going to give it a solid A. That's what we're going to get out of it here. So anyways, I hope if you play this deck that you enjoy it as much as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.